Hey, check it out. On Twitch, you're probably like, why are you playing Vampire Survivors? Guess what, you piece? I recorded a Vampire Survivors video for YouTube yesterday, and guess what, you piece? I don't really know how I did it, but I unlocked 2 new characters, both of which were featured in the Mike Flanagan series, Midnight Mass. We got Dommario. That's, I don't know. He starts with the Holy Book, King Bible, and then we got Croce. I don't really know what's going on with Croce. He starts with 1 revival, which means he can come back from the dead, and also he starts with a cross, apparently. I kind of feel like we gotta play Dommario, though, because he has minus 40% move speed, which just seems very funny to me. And let's put him in the Mad Forest. He is slow as dirt. That's absolutely true. Where's my Bible? Where's my King Bible? Thank you, thank you. I guess my abilities last longer, though. That's pretty good. Let's get that King Bible going. He's Pog AF. He's insanely slow. I guess I'm okay with that, because you get a lot of time to figure out where you're going, but... There's a lightning ring evolution now. You know what? I did not know that. What does it evolve with? What's its evolved pair? Duplicator? That's crazy! Those are both good things. I will endeavor to take them. Anyway, we were talking earlier before the gameplay portion of the stream started, which sometimes takes hours, depending on whether or not we're doing tier lists. By the way, before we slip into that, I should let you know, I saw, if you are the user who created a grocery store nut tier list, I saw your tier list. I may do it, but we need like a couple days of not arguing first. I think that's necessary, but I can tell you right off the bat, I love a peanut, I love a cashew. There's some nuts I'm okay with, like I'm okay with an almond. Ate a lot of them, at various nutrition pilled periods of my life, for sure, but I think the flavor of an almond is not very good. There's some nuts that I would never buy from the bulk section at the grocery store unless I was, like, baking a cake. I don't mind a pecan. Actually, I'll go a step further. I like a pecan pie. I'll take an attract orb for sure, man. Especially when we're so slow. I like a pecan pie. But I would never just eat like a handful of pecans. That doesn't make any sense to me. As a pie ingredient, I'm into it. As a flavor in something, I'm into it. But I would never just eat a pecan. But there's worse. Like, I know we've been over this, and the consensus was that I was eating rotten nuts that had sat out at my grandparents' house in a glass bowl in the sun for like 5 years. I hate a walnut, man. Walnuts just taste like poison. They taste like a plastic bottle of cleaner you would find under the sink. I hate a walnut. Give me more attract orb. I'm into this. I'm dying. I'm into this. I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm alive. Let me out, please. We need another weapon. I'm realizing now we need another weapon. Here's the thing. I'll definitely take a duplicator, because now we've got lightning ring potential synergies, but we should get another weapon and level our existing weapons. Walnuts are meant to help you sleep? Really? Are you talking about the actual nut, or are you talking about busting a nut against your bedroom wall? I don't want any of these. Maybe we'll get a whip later, but that was a bad selection. Anyway, so we were talking about leafy greens. We were talking about what the consensus most hated leafy green for children is, because I had previously thought it was broccoli. I love broccoli, but I thought that children didn't like it, but I think that's 1990s pilled. And my daughter, who is like not even a year and a half old yet, she loves broccoli whenever she eats it. Then someone in chat suggested spinach, and I think I have a take that chat's not ready for. I feel like spinach is the worst leafy green. I take arugula over spinach any day of the week. I take kale over spinach any day of the week. I take romaine lettuce, butter lettuce, red leaf lettuce. I'll take iceberg lettuce over kale any day of the damn week. This is not a leafy green. I probably would take spinach over radicchio or radicchio. I can't remember how it's spelled. I just know how it tastes in my mouth, because that again tastes like something you would get under the sink. That's like the red. It's like red lettuce. It's not red leaf lettuce, but it's like, you know, sometimes you see it in like a spring mix. Minus 200. Holy cow, that's a lot. I only accept magnitude 2s in either direction. You can't, just because the take is bad, it's like just because you hate the president, you don't get more votes, right? Like you just vote and then you put like an angry face next to it. You could just put, that's huge. You could just put like -2 and then put like Madge next to it. You don't get to put minus 200, okay? That's a cabbage, isn't it? It might be. I don't know. I mean, is that a leafy green? I guess it's more like a leafy sort of... I was trying to think of what pale green is. I guess it's just green. I love cabbage too, man. All the cabbages I'm a fan of. Radicchio, I'm just not sure. Radicchio, it's so insanely bitter. I'll take it a step further as long as we're offending people. I also don't understand the value of an endive. An endive? Is that I don't know how it's pronounced. I think it's endive. Let's go lightning ring, man. It's endive. Okay. What is it? It's like a very... It's like a miniature... Imagine a cabbage that's larger than a Brussels sprout, but smaller than a cabbage. Because a Brussels sprout is really like a miniature cabbage. An endive is like... it's the midpoint between a cabbage and a Brussels sprout. And it's possibly the most bitter vegetable that man has ever artificially selected for. Opinions on Brussels sprouts is one of my favorite vegetables, without a doubt. Cooked properly, at least. But that, I mean, that should go without saying, you know? You're not gonna eat one raw out of the ground. It's not one of those kind of vegetables. You're just gonna like pull up a Brussels sprout and bite in. But potatoes aren't like that either, and potatoes are clearly S tier. Roasted or cooked in a very hot pan, both acceptable. They gotta have a Brussels sprout that is all green. I'll eat it, but I'll be like, oh, this is like wasted potential. But a Brussels sprout that has a little bit of brown or a little bit of black on it from being charred a little bit. Oh man, now we're talking. So true, so true. Anyway, that's my take on leafy greens. Spinach, I know, like we've said it before. It's the only... I'm on fire. It's the only leafy green. This is also bad, and I'm upset. Wait, hold on. We need to think for a second. What does Pomarola match with? What does it evolve with? Garlic? Ew. I guess we could try for double birds. But I think as long as we get whip evolution, we already have lightning ring evolution, you know, incoming. I think we should be okay regardless. I'm feeling pretty okay about this. Double bird also, like, evolves at a low level. Unfortunately, you gotta build it, but that's fine. Spinach, like, I don't mind the taste of spinach. But does anybody else, like, when they eat it, it makes their mouth feel, like, kind of gritty? Not allergic, but it's like... You know, like, after you eat, like, a sour candy, it feels like some of the enamel got, like... is temporarily rubbed off your teeth? After I eat spinach, my teeth are like that. They're like, they feel like they're coated with a spinach veneer. It gives weird teeth feel for sure. I'm wondering if this is like a cilantro soap gene sort of thing. Come on, that's not a pesticide. People be buying like a bag of spinach at the grocery store that says triple washed. Then they'll be washing it again at home. Then when they eat it, they're like, oh, I can taste the pesticides. Yeah, sure. Okay. Hold on. This is important. Candelabrador evolves the axe. I remember that. Spellbinder evolves the Bible. Okay. I remember that because I did it yesterday. Spinach has a form of acid, which makes your teeth feel like that. I don't want to eat acid, man. Ergo, I think I'm right in my spinach take. Dude, yeah, I'm so happy. Like, kale, I don't know. I've stopped being a kale evangelist because it hurts my analytics. People are like, what's wrong with this guy? He likes kale. I don't know. It just tastes delicious to me. But I will not stand for, like, any arugula distaste. Like, arugula is a goated leafy green. It's also the only leafy green that really, like, belongs on a pizza. I've eaten pizzas, you know, with some iceberg lettuce on it, like a taco pizza, and it's, don't get me wrong, I can get down with it. Bracer evolves with a knife, is that correct? But arugula is S tier, man. Garlic, I don't really want the experience 8 minutes in. I feel like we missed our chance. I think we gotta go projectile speed. Even though it doesn't have an evolution synergy, I think we gotta take it. Basil, hello? Okay, oh, I mean, basil, it's confusing, right? I wouldn't describe basil as a leafy green, but it is a leaf and it's green. But you wouldn't make a salad just out of basil leaves. You would be like, you'd be overpowered. It would be like eating a bowl of perfume. But yeah, of course, basil belongs on a pizza. But it's in the herb category. As opposed to the lettuces and the brassicas, you know? Take me up. We have one extra space for a passive. Arugula on pizza, man. It's the best. 12-year-old me would have cried if he heard, like, 33-year-old me say this. If you gave me the choice between a pizza that had, like, 8 different kinds of sausage on it, or a pizza that had, like, prosciutto and arugula, I would take... And this is on flavor. I would take the prosciutto and the arugula over the big sausage pizza any day of the week. Because every time I order it's not just flavor. Every time I order the big sausage pizza, the box comes with a hole in the middle for some reason. I gotta stop ordering from that pizzeria. Plus two. Oh, you guys are familiar with this place too? Hey, whoa! I can't fight the swarm. I got wedged. They're wedging me. It's the battle of the bastards, man. All right, that shouldn't have happened. We should have been stronger there. I'm gonna do exactly the same thing. Hold on, I shaved yesterday. Do I have... I just used a Kleenex to, like, wipe my nose. Do I have little Kleenex on my stubble? Be honest with me. Nah? Let's go. It happens. If you gotta blow your nose, like, within an hour after you shave, like, rip you. How was the Peloton ride this morning? Oh, thank you for asking. No big deal. Just set a new PB. There was a thread on the Peloton subreddit that was like, how tall are you? And what do you set your bike seat height at? I read through the thread when I was on the toilet this morning, and everybody was like, Someone was like, I'm 5'2" and my bike is set at 16 height. And I was like, I'm 5'10" and my bike is set at 16 height. So I cranked that shit up. And I think that having a more appropriate bike fit helped me get a little extra wattage this morning. I think I was kind of riding it like a low rider. I was riding it like Ryan Nyquist. Much better for your knees as well. I believe that. I believe that. Candelabrador for axe. Easiest choice of my life. Yeah, that's how I sat on the bike and it was like your knee should be almost fully extended when you're at the bottom of your pedal stroke. And then I extended to the bottom of my pedal stroke and my knee was bent at like a 60-degree angle. And I was like, this isn't even close, man. This isn't even close. No wonder my hammies were getting so much work. So honestly, I felt like it was an easier ride today, but I PB'd by like, maybe like 4%. And I was like, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I was also wearing an onion on my belt, which was the style at the time. That's pretty pog. Thank you, thank you. I don't have like anything else to say about it. Because I only have like 2 friends on the Peloton to compare myself with. One is my dad. He doesn't have a Peloton. He just has the app, so I can't even like, you know, stunt on his scores. Because you can't see his output. You can only see like his calories burned. And then the other one is Dan, but I think he only has a Peloton like at his gym, so he's not doing it as often. But I also don't want to add anybody else on the Peloton. Because it's me time. So it's kind of like a personal problem for sure. You came out the damn back to tank. I feel like I came out the damn back to tank this morning. Thank you. I feel like I did. No, I don't want to add you on the Peloton. Like, not to be rude, but like, I'm not saying I'm a celebrity. But the only reason you would want to add me is because you know who I am, which by definition makes me a celebrity no matter how small the magnitude of attention placed on me is. So, like, I'm just out there trying to enjoy, like, a nice ride to improve, like, my cardiovascular health. I feel like if I added people from chat, like, every day they would be going out with the bloodlust. Just to try to, like it would be the best day of their year if they could just crush me on the Peloton, where I would just be like, do-do-do-do-do, I also don't want to come to stream sometimes and have like, let's go triples. I don't want to come to stream sometimes and have 100 people be like, hey, why was your output like only 293 today when you average like a 315? I might be like, I don't know, man, I just kind of slept weird last night. Like, it's too much personal information for strangers to have. Or God forbid if I like miss a couple days. Or like, you know, some days I'm like, I don't feel like I'm gonna PB today. Hold on, this is an important moment. I'll take Hollow Heart for Whip any day of the week. Some days I'm like, I don't feel like I'm gonna PB today, so instead of doing a 90s classic rock ride like I did today, I'll do like a 2010 pop ride, because I know the music sucks and thus won't get me fired up. I don't want people showing up in chat and being like, hey, oh, Egg, Madge, you made me ride to Pink and Katy Perry today. Ooh. I didn't make you do anything, man. I just needed a slightly more low impact day. But I choose not to do the low impact rides because they don't have any time out of the saddle, but the time you spend out of the saddle is one of the easiest ways to get your average output up, and also it kind of feels like a break after you've been grinding in the saddle for so long. Holy cow. No. I do not average 315 watts. That's crazy. But now you made me feel bad because you said average 315. Whoa, that's crazy. I average like 280. I don't average 280. I average like 180. 180 watts over 30 minutes. becomes like, you know, 320 kilojoules or something like that. That's not an oof, that's pretty good, man. I'm in the top 10% of the leaderboard pretty much every day. Now, am I competing largely against men in their 50s and women doing, you know, prenatal biking classes? Yes. But I don't judge them based on that. It sounds like you're judging them based on that. I think, honestly, some of them, like, are stronger than me. Like, nothing scares me on the Peloton like being neck and neck with, like, somebody's profile who's, like, you know, they have a University of Georgia Bulldogs avatar, and their name is, like, Big Dog 74, and then in the metadata, it says men's 50, or male 50, and then, like, a Fleetwood Mac song comes on. I'm like, oh, shit, I'm about to get torched. I can't summon the same kind of adrenaline for Fleetwood Mac. Like, I mean, if they played like a Beach House song, I would probably leave them in the dust, but they don't have the rights to all those yet. Maybe Florence and the Machine is like the closest they get. What the dog doing? So true. I was neck and neck with Dirty Grandpa 669 on the Peloton yesterday. That's funny. I love when you get, I mean, this is what happens in Vampire Survivors. You just have to talk about, like, you know, whatever you were talking about because you got to focus on the screen a little bit. I love when you end up on, like, a ride that only has, like, 3 people on it on the concurrent leaderboard. And then, like, there's always some Floyd Landis dude who, like, after the warm-up, he's, like, 75% above everybody else. Then he just starts sending out high fives. High five, you finished the warm-up. High five, you finished the first Red Hot Chili Peppers song. Shut the fuck up, Chris Froome. Piece of... Yeah, I get it. You're strong, okay? I get it. You've been on the Peloton for a long time. You don't have to send me 8 high fives on a ride just because, like, you know, you're unemployed. I'm just trying to improve my cardiovascular health. Nice shot, nice shot. Yeah, don't even get me started, man. You start doing the shout-outs in the ride. Hey, Pello for Wine, congratulations. It's your 8,300th ride today. Congrats. It's not your 8,000. What you're telling me you've been biking for 4,800 hours? The company's only existed for like 6 years or something like that. Like, come on. Biking for tacos. Congrats, 6,500 rides. I'm like, bullshit. Bullshit. 5-minute warm-up, 10-minute warm-up, 30-minute ride, 10-minute cooldown, 5-minute cooldown. You liar. Scumbag. Sorry. Okay, Tome is Santa water. Isn't that true? That's true, right? That's pretty true. We don't have Santa water, but... No. Tome is wand. That makes way more sense. Show Tome. The Peloton metadata on the leaderboard is the closest I get to Facebook. I didn't realize how open people are with their data. Like, in one username and a little bit of metadata attached to it, willfully offered by, like, suburban Midwestern ants, you know their whole lives. Their name will be like, name of my child plus how many children I have plus my favorite sports team in the year I was born, and then in their tags, it's like, recovering lawyer. I'm like, I could find you in a heartbeat if you send me too many toxic high fives on the freaking Peloton. I like cereal. Thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bracer knife, fire wand, spinach. I love spinach. Give me the fire wand. Anyway, that's all I got about the Peloton. You said you hated spinach? I would still eat it, but it's... I mean, if I go to Subway, I don't get spinach on the sandwich. I get lettuce on the sandwich. If I go to Subway. That's all I got to say about that. I just think, and I have this take about many things. Like, for example, I think that people think that, like, peanuts are like a starter nut. And then after you get, like, a college degree, you're like, oh, peanuts. I remember when I used to eat those when I was a baby. Now I eat cashews. I reject that notion about peanuts. And I think the same thing applies to leafy greens. I think a lot of people are like, iceberg lettuce? Maybe if I was at the hotel restaurant of an Iowa DoubleTree. We gotta go lightning ring. And I'm like, man, iceberg lettuce has its place. Like, spinach is not a strictly better leafy green, in my opinion. What are you talking about? You didn't like it when that just came off the top of my head. The hotel restaurant at an Iowa DoubleTree? He's right, and he should say, Iowa did catch a stray. But, like, I don't know. What do you want me to say about Iowa, man? Des Moines shower handle. Like, that's all I got. Iceberg is not so ass. It has its place. In a hard taco, you want an iceberg lettuce. You don't want any... You want a crunchy leafy green instead of something that you have to shred using your molars, okay? It has its place in the compost? You guys are just honestly haters. But again, I like it. I'm happy that iceberg gets disrespected because it keeps demand lower and thus the price remains lower as well. This is something that I believe helps me out. Excuse me, I'd like the money. Thank you. This is important. We get the axe. We already have candelabrador. We kill this box. We get the scythe. The scythe will be evolved, and then we start crushing. Just like bananas. Dude, I actually meant to talk about this at an earlier juncture. How is it that bananas are so cheap? A bunch of bananas, I don't mean like an indescript number, I mean like a literal bunch, is like $2.80. Is because of corporate colonialism? Okay, well, you make it sound like really bad. It's because the CIA overthrew several governments in South and Latin America. What about the organic ones? Are those ones like fair trade or whatever? Now you got me feeling bad for buying bananas and being surprised at how cheap they are. Yes, actually? Okay. So if I buy the organic ones, but then at the self-checkout, I say that they're non-organic, that's like the dream, right? That's the perfect crime. Based? He's based? Oh no, he's based. I saw, you know, I follow many finance people on Twitter. I'm not ashamed to admit it. And there was a post from one of them that was like, one of the steadiest, this is like 2 weeks ago, one of the steadiest asset prices over the last 20 years is the price of bananas in Canada. And they showed a graph, and I was like, that's damn true. A bunch of bananas at a Canadian grocery store has been like $2.50 since I was 10 years old, I think. Like, the price never seems to go up. I'm not saying that's a good thing, because obviously there's somebody on the other end of that trade. I'm just saying it is nice to go to the grocery store and be like, whoa, something here is still cheap. ANL, you had any issues finding cat food lately? Oh, a clover, look at that. Not really, but definitely, there's been, hold on, Spellbinder is for Bible, we need that. I have had to compromise a little bit at the grocery store. My preferred granola flavor hasn't been stocked in like a long time now, probably like a month. Oh, we're popping, man. We're popping. We're popping insanely. It's never been better than this. This is, I don't know what to say. This is incredible. We're still going. It never ends. Okay, it ended at some point, but that was nice. No, like the toasted coconut and oat granola is always stocked. But the peanut butter granola has not been stocked in forever, man. I don't know if there's any askers in chat, but like... And then, like, I feel there's been a lower than normal supply of tortillas. The cilantro that ends up at the grocery store looks like pure ass. This is just me anecdotally speaking about the things that I tend to buy at the grocery store. I can't find salt and vinegar Lay's everywhere. That wasn't me saying that. That was someone in chat, but I believe it. Dude, when in March 2020, when like COVID, like toilet paper hoarding was at its peak, I went to the grocery store to buy some pasta. And the entire pasta aisle was cleared out, except there was like rainbow shells. That's when I was like, maybe this is going to be like a little bit more serious than I've thought up to this point. When I went to the grocery store and there was just like multicolored, like gluten-free shells, I was like, that's not normal. I'm used to going to the grocery store and never really, I took it for granted before that you go to the grocery store at any time of the day and it's like, sure, what do you want? Farfalle, spaghetti, spaghettini, linguine, orecchiette, rotini, fusilli, penne. We got it all. And then some of it, we got cauliflower of some of them. Like we got cauliflower, gnocchi and stuff like that. It's kind of, maybe the world was not actually designed for you to be able to have whatever your preferred shape of pasta noodle is on demand at any given time. That seems crazy to me now the more I think about it. How are like supply chains able to do that? How much pasta you throwing out? It's kind of amazing. Factories? Yeah, but like they've had factories for a long time. It's like people in like Birmingham in the early 1800s were like, oh, you got farfalle? Oh, I really want a rotini tonight. Fuck you, right? They were like, I don't know, eating like a boiled onion soup or something like that, right? You can take any passive now, all your evolutions are handled. That's pretty sick. I would take an attract orb here just for quality of life then. Supply chains have half of Italy making pasta. It is funny. Anytime there's like an ad, I don't know if this is the same in America, but in Canada, I'm sure it's probably the same in America. Anytime they have an ad for like a pasta sauce, it's always like it starts with like somebody playing an accordion and then like a drone shot flies in on like a sepia toned Italy, and then it's always like this is new lightning ring, hold on. It's always like at Prego, we make pasta sauce just like Nonna used to make, and then it's like an old Italian woman like chopping up, like chiffonading, is that the word? Chiffonading some herbs and like adding it into a sizzling simmering little pot and then smelling it. And then I'm pretty sure if you ever see like the How It's Made episode about pasta sauce factories, it's like a truck dumps 100 tons of tomatoes into an insanely large press. Then 6 robots add exactly the right amount of dried garlic into the sauce to create that telltale ragu flavor. I think we're gonna win, like, easily. Like, insanely easily. No human eyes will lay upon this product until the can is opened at home. But there was a Sesame Street How It's Made section where they showed how, like, buffalo mozzarella cheese is made, and it actually blew my mind. I'm sure a lot of it is made in a factory, don't get me wrong, but they literally just showed like one middle-aged Italian man with insanely veiny forearms. That's like, you know, you pour the curds in boiling water, just stick your hands in there and kind of mix it around for like half an hour, and then braid it into like a challah bread. I was like, this guy is crazy. And I am loving it. How It's Made is a Canadian show? Honestly, I had no idea. God is my witness, I did not know How It's Made is Canadian. I do want the evolved whip, let's be honest. Can't you tell by its quality? Well, it's like a... It's a shitty... The show looks shitty. It looks quaint, let's put it that way. But the concept is incredible. It's endlessly watchable. That's kind of like... I mean, that's the best of Canadian TV. A lot of Canadian TV is still like pure ass. I know, everybody loves Schitt's Creek. I'm not knocking Schitt's Creek, okay? That's like the exception that proves the rule. I'm more knocking, you know, like Da Vinci's Inquest, and... Some people are gonna come at me for this one, and that's okay. I'm kind of knocking like Murdoch Mysteries. Canada's Worst Driver is kind of like a great, it's a great Canadian show. I'll watch that when it's on. The Good Doctor? That's Canadian? The Good Doctor is Canadian? What the hell? Trailer Park Boys is Canadian, it's true. I got nothing against Trailer Park Boys. Kim's Convenience, sure, Kim's Convenience was like, it was pretty good. I mean, honestly, like, I haven't seen all of these shows that much. I've probably seen like 5 episodes of Kim's Convenience. But like, Canadian TV, I think, has gotten a little bit better. Like, the CBC has embraced the digital revolution a little bit. There's still a lot of, like, ass Canadian TV, though. That's just my opinion. Nirvana, the band, the show, is Canadian. It's true. I'm not being a hater of my own country. America makes the best TV. Maybe, like, Norway, if you're into gritty police dramas about a murder in a small town. America also makes the worst TV. Well, I don't know. England's pretty up there, to be honest. At least in my anecdotal experience, but... Yeah, give me that whip. You can't pay, we'll take it away. I don't think... The fact that a country on Earth had a show about, like, look at this scumbag, he bought a jet ski he can't afford, and then, like, a lorry driver in tears is like, I hate telling people I've got to take their stuff. And then the narrator's like, if you didn't think you could afford it, you shouldn't have bought it. And it's just like, that's so mean-spirited, man. I don't even think that would fly on American TV. And there's some very morally questionable stuff on American TV. Like Live PD, for example. We had that on American TV already? What the hell? That's crazy. I got a question. How many shows have there been about, like, hey, you know, 100 losers can't meet a spouse the normal way, so we're gonna fuck it up with some sort of gimmick, like they don't even get to see who they are, or they're all on an island together. Oh, they can't speak. We're gonna tell them that one of them's a millionaire, but actually they're not. Like, so there's been like an infinity amount of those, right? Are there more than 10 examples of a stable couple that have met themselves on that kind of show. I'm like, relationships lasting, let's say, longer than 5 years. If there aren't, we gotta stop watching those shows, man. Like, I know that, so there's a new season of Love is Blind, and there's also Love is Blind Japan. I'm not gonna watch that shit. I'm over it. I said this a little while ago, like, what the hell? It's insane. I like a month ago, I said I'm done watching hot people, like, meet a boyfriend that they're only actually gonna be with for, like, 1 month to farm Instagram followers when the show ends, and then they're gonna move on with their lives. I'm done with... That show it's a false gimmick. Nobody's finding love on these shows. Super Whip? One couple got married on that show? Yeah, but like, how long have they been married? I mean, like, Kanye West and Kim Kardashian got married. They even have, like, 3 kids. Why don't you check Ye's Instagram and let me know how that's going? Shit's just Pete Davidson as the Joker. Like, that's like a meme. I can't even... That's like stolen valor. I don't follow the Kanye West Instagram. Keith Davidson. This is a great name. Oh, he deleted those. That's good. I mean, it's a bad look. He said sorry today. Okay, well, that's good. I mean, I can understand that it would be like... I think it would cause me some pain, emotionally and spiritually, if my wife divorced me and then started dating a guy who's on Saturday Night Live, like, of all television shows. But you gotta act more like grown up than that, obviously. Pete Davidson must be packing. Look, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm an expert, but he just kind of has that vibe, right? I don't think you can necessarily tell when somebody is not well endowed, but there's just something about, like, the Pete Davidson body type makes me think, like, if we went swimming together, after we came back into the change room, I would be like, that thing's freaking huge. There's just something about, like, there's something about, like, the way he looks, right? Kaka? I could be wrong. I mean, it's kind of it's a weird bit to be talking about. And if he does, great for him. If he doesn't, who cares? As an expert, I can confirm he's packing. It's fine either way. You care, you brought it up. These were just idle musings, okay? Schmeat Davidson. It's so good. I'm getting coins, man. We're going over 5,000 again. Just idly musing. I just, you know, I don't care necessarily. But if you were like, you have to place a bet on whether he's over the average or under the average, I would be like, come on, man. Look at him. He's skinny and he's got tattoos. You know he's packing. It doesn't make any anatomical sense that there would be a correlation there, but at least in my head, I'm like, yeah, if this was Gaspionage, I would be like, I'm going much higher on this one. And now give me some Lost Ark loot. That is a strat that could be fun. What if we just started putting... Like, we don't even need to add it to, like, the first part of the delineated title. We can just add after Prime and after Docket, we could just put exclamation point drops, parentheses, drops enabled, and then just see what kind of detritus filters in over time. Like, sometimes when I'm setting YouTube videos, I go to, like, the Twitch homepage, and it's like, hey, here's some followers, or here's some channels we, like, recommend to you. And I'm like, what the hell? You got 80,000 viewers playing the most boring game of all time? How does that happen? And then I see that their title is like, drops, 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 and I'm like, okay, now I get it. I understand. Everybody. MMOs be like, so true. Chewing. He's talking about Hunt Showdown. I think Hunt Showdown is a great game. I played it with Mathis a few times. The community scares the shit out of me. I think they are too good. It's basically like Tarkov meets the cryptid community. And that's two very enthusiastic and devout subcultures that I don't know if I want to go against them in a digital war. Cryptids are real? Probably one of the cryptids out of 1,000 that have been suggested is real, right? I'm gonna say that it's the Mothman. Definitely the Mothman. Mothman's real. See? We're busting the case wide open. I don't know if these are cryptids, but if I had to place a bet, I would bet on the affirmative that there's like a really fucked up creature in the deep ocean that science has not discovered yet. Like maybe there's less than 1,000 of them worldwide and they live like 10 kilometers deep in the Pacific Ocean. I would be surprised if there wasn't something like insane down there. High-key terrifying thought. Just something like, you know, not like dangerous to humans because we shouldn't be down there to begin with, but just being like, whoa, imagine that. They would have to be very small due to no sunlight or energy. Okay, that's a good point. What they could do is be really big and just eat a lot of very small things that can only live down there because there's no sunlight or energy. Or they could just be sloth-like and enter a dormant state until they detect organic life that they can eat around. And then they eat it and go back into a hibernation state. What the fuck? He's cracking, man. This doesn't sound like any cryptid I've ever heard of. Oh, and he only appears, like, if you're, in the Blue Ridge Mountains and you, like, drank some of your uncle's homemade moonshine and then drunk drove down, like, a dirt road at 2 in the morning. Now does it sound like a cryptid? Yes, okay, thank you. Appreciate it. And you have a camcorder from 1998. Sorry, this was the best footage I could get. It was a 200-foot tall man with bat-like wings. You can see him here. He's represented by that gray blur. You like the Fleet Foxes, NL? What is that, a cryptid? I'm just joking. It's a band. It's an indie band with some impressive harmonizing. I like the Fleet Foxes. I got nothing against the Fleet Foxes. We're gonna win this run. Winning a run like this at level 86 is kind of hilarious. I feel like that's pretty low. Famous last words? What kills me here? Nothing can even get close to me. Overrated band. Folk music lived and died with Bob Dylan. Excuse me. A, Bob Dylan's still alive. B, what about like that 6-month period in the early 2000s where everybody was really into Iron and Wine? Or Bon Iver? There's got to be more, probably. Father John Misty? Yeah, there you go, Father John Misty. I don't really know any of his work, but I know his name. I'm just gonna sit here. Go collect those red gems? I mean, I guess I could walk over here and collect these red gems. So walk over here and collect these red gems. Just walk down here, collect these red gems. Don't even try it. What about David Guetta? David Guetta. Da-da-dee-da-dee-da-do-do. Ah, big coin bag. Hold on. I think I like one... Holy shit. I think I like one David Guetta song. Didn't he do one with Kelly Rowland? Sexy bitch, what the hell? She was in Destiny's Child, show some respect. He's done a song with literally everyone. When Love Takes Over? Yeah, that's the one. When Love Takes Over, yeah. That one's pretty good. I got nothing against that one. Mad Forest Hyper, gold earned, 7,201. I mean, we kind of creamed it there. Give me... Hold on. Give me a power up. We got 10,000 gold. I want the reroll, man. How much does that reroll cost? 40,000? I'm willing to save. I'm willing to save to get there. There's Vampire Survivors 1.